I'm standing next to Suncorp Stadium, which is located in Brisbane, the capital city of Queensland and the third largest city in Australia. And it is here that an amazing race will begin. 5 teams will have the chance to battle it out for $500 of cold hard cash. Throughout the race, teams will decipher clues to figure out where to go next and encounter tasks that might hinder their progress. Because we live in a modern age, all the clues and tasks will be run off a website, which the teams can view from their phone. They will need to find or work out the answer to unlock their next clue. To aid in navigation, teams will be given a map, but only some of these locations will be useful. The teams cannot use their phone for anything other than reading the clues. And with all that said, the race can begin. Good luck! The teams have now opened their first clue. To progress from here, they must search through over 100 plaques until they find Darren Lockyers, the rugby league player with the most appearances for Queensland. To unlock their next clue, they must use his cap number as the password.
With this information, Guy and Flynn get to work quickly.
Yeah, you do this row, I'll do this.
Lockie and Angus are also making some progress. Sean and Deep now shift into gear.
Darren Lockyer, is that what we have to find?
Yeah.
While Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex ponder their first move. Sean searches one end of the plaques and Riley the other, and comes very close without even knowing it.
Is it like sequential date?
These teams get a new idea. They're trying to read the information directly off Darren Lockyer's statue. But they soon determine that the information they desire is not there. Lockie and Angus go and check for themselves. Sean starts to get desperate.
Alright, whoever finds it, scream out so we can come over.
Dom was getting distracted, while Riley and Alex were retracing their steps.
We are very lost right now, trying to find some information about Darren Lockyer. We're not very good at this.
But finally, a team finds the plaque, and it's Guy and Flynn.
What is it?
It's on this row.
But Sean and Deep spot this and move in.
Oh, it's down there. Deep.
Lockie and Angus clock on as well.
It's down here somewhere.
Come on. Squares or statues?
The teams have encountered a detour. This is a choice between 2 tasks, each with their own pros and cons. In this detour, teams must choose between squares or statues. In squares, teams must find and count 13 of these yellow squares, which are painted in the area surrounding Suncorp Stadium. In statues, teams must find and count 6 of these rugby player statues in the area surrounding Suncorp Stadium. Once they've done that, they can use the count as the password to unlock their next clue.
Guy and Flynn choose statues, as do Lockie and Angus.
So what are we doing?
Statues, because Ben was saying there's something that didn't count as squares. I feel like that could be harder.
However, Sean and Deep try their luck with squares.
Squares, I think. Squares, yeah.
Guy and Flynn discuss some tactics.
Yeah, but if we do a half each, or should we go back?
And while Lockie and Angus begin to make some moves, Guy gets counting.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, there's 4.
I already tried 4.
No, but
There's one I literally used.
are you sure? Okay, yeah. All right, let's run around the other side. Wheel running.
But then Flynn recalls a very useful piece of prior knowledge.
I think there's just one. There's just one on the.
There's only one?
5 here.
Yeah, so go
There's
6.
one on the other side.
Yes, what's the next one?
Make your way to
me-
City Botanic Gardens.
Teams must now find the Walter Hill Fountain, which is located somewhere in the City Botanic Gardens. Once they find it, they must work out what year it was constructed to unlock their next clue.
There's a lot of yellow squares. I'm glad we didn't do that.
There it is.
Yeah.
Riley and Alex and Luke and Dom also make use of the same prior knowledge tactic and can now move on to the next challenge as well.
We've completed the statues.
Yep.
On our way to the city.
Yep.
This is where Riley comes in. He's the bus man.
The bus man.
I'm
I'll be
more of a
honest,
train
Alex.
person.
I'm not really getting any bus knowledge in my brain at the moment.
Nothing.
No, nothing's really coming to me at the moment.
So while Riley forgets his bus routes, Lockie and Angus finish the detour and are also moving on.
You might be able to find out what year it was built. Use the year as a password to unlock the next book.
Luke, do you have any ideas on how to get to the Botanic Gardens quickly?
Yeah, we go this way.
Yeah.
Then we move away.
Yeah, right, okay.
And although that hand waving was pretty vague, it was in the opposite direction of the train station. So perhaps Luke believes the best tactic is to catch a bus. Meanwhile, Lockie and Angus chase down Sean and Deep, who are the only team to complete the Squares detour. These two teams join Guy and Flynn and make up the 3 teams heading for the train station.
There are 2 teams ahead of us. We're going to catch a train.
So we want to go into Central, and then we're going to have to walk across the city.
But we're being chased.
And a little bit further behind, the bus tactic had collapsed.
We have to catch the train.
So with that, Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex were well and truly at the back of the field. Meanwhile, up the front, Guy and Flynn had made it to the train station, but they were greeted with some unfortunate news.
9 minutes.
What?
9 minutes.
Oh, what the hell?
Just ran all this way from the stadium to the station.
Trying to build up a little lead.
Turns out next train's in 8 minutes. So we will inevitably be caught.
Cringe. Running to the train. It's a minute away.
Lockie and Angus and Sean and Deep have now made it to the train station, and they're looking very relaxed. I wonder how long that will last.
Yeah, platform 2. Oh shit, boys. We have to get to platform 2 in like 2 minutes.
Not particularly long, as it turned out. Sean and Deep head for the lift, while Lockie and Angus run up the stairs.
The stairs are out of order. You gotta take the lift.
Do we have to tap on somewhere?
Concourse level, Milton Road.
Oh fuck, it's Luke and Alex. All the boys on the same fucking train. Where do we tap on, guys?
Sean summarised the situation pretty well, and miraculously, every team had made it to the train station just in time to board the next train.
The bus is on one. Yeah, man. Sure you have it. Sure.
Oh shit. Everyone made it.
Hey, boys, we were winning by like 6 minutes. Hey, have you tapped?
Guy and Flynn's lead had indeed evaporated while they waited for the train. They must feel pretty annoyed watching everyone else board the same train with them, and therefore each team still has an equal chance of taking the win.
Yeah, I know where that is.
So you know exactly where this is?
Yeah.
Sean and Deep seem to have a pretty good idea about where they might find the fountain. However, surprisingly, themselves, along with Lockie and Angus, decide to get off the train at Roma Street rather than Central.
We're taking a gamble, we're not getting off at Central.
But Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex stay put, as do Guy and Flynn, who are elsewhere on the train, now all heading towards Central.
It's crazy. Thanks. And that's the reason why we're gonna win.
Meanwhile, back at Roma Street,
What? Yeah, I know it is. Wait, Angus, what was the plan with this?
We're gonna try and get a train like down to the South Bank and then, or the station after South Bank, and then jump across the bridge. I thought we were gonna get to Central. No,
Well,
if we want to go to Central,
we have to stay on the train.
well, this seems like a proper shambles. However, a backup plan is soon salvaged.
Yeah, and jump off here and then walk across.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do that.
The 3 teams that went to Central now disembark the train.
Oh, it's shot. My secret way's shot.
Guy and Flynn eventually find their way off the platform and towards the exit. Back over at Roma Street, some moves are finally being made as Sean and Deep and Lockie and Angus board a new train heading off towards South Bank.
Come on. Go.
So while the three teams that decided to disembark at Central are now on foot and heading towards the park, the remaining two teams are still on board their new train and heading towards South Bank.
You sure? Because the South Bank station is right outside the Emporium, wherever that is.
It'll be around here.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah, so then we can take the good walk.
And we can. I can't see any other team.
The cripple team is in the lead.
Maybe.
So Sean and Deep and Lockie and Angus were finally back on foot. But it wasn't long before their little companionship seemed to fall apart.
Hey, where are the boys going, man?
We're on the breakaway.
Meanwhile, back across town, our friends from Central Station were still making their way to the gardens. However, they had differing opinions of which direction to go.
We collided with idiots. We should have gone that way.
Do you have the photo?
So while Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex messed around in the city, and Sean and Deep and Lockie and Angus messed around in South Bank, Guy and Flynn had already made it to the gardens, and were well and truly in the lead. They then begin the process of lining up the building in the Clue with the building in reality.
This one. That's the one we're looking for.
And as Lockie and Angus were running towards the gardens from South Bank, Luke and Dom have decided it's lunchtime.
Can I please get a salmon avocado and a beef? So thank you.
Meanwhile, back in the gardens,
Are you guys from Brisbane? Do you happen to know, have you seen this statue today on your walk? Do you recognize it?
I am just new to Brisbane. In the gardens?
Yeah. That way?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Because wait, no, look at the thing again. So you can't
see any of the other
you
buildings.
can't see that.
I don't understand how you could get that angle.
Wait, let me see.
He's done such a good job at not giving us two landmarks to triangulate.
Guy and Flynn seem confused, while Lockie and Angus close in.
We just ran across the Goodwill. We're hoping to catch the Mech Boys. We think they might be there already. On to the next clue.
So we're walking towards Botanical Gardens. And what's happening, Dom? And there was an event.
So Luke and Dom spot this event from a distance. Meanwhile, Riley and Alex are already weaving their way through it. Back in last place with Sean and Deep.
We're paying $50 for the planning that Ben has put into this. Alright? We're supporting our local business that is Ben. That's what we're here for. We're not here to win. We're here to observe.
I don't know about you, I'm here to win.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not here.
And back over in the gardens, Guy and Flynn continue their search.
Flynn!
But finally, the fountain is located.
Alright. When's it made? You read that plaque. There's no other plaque around here.
1867.
Alright. 1867? So is that the answer?
I guess.
You might be able to find out what the year is built.
Got it.
What's the next clue?
Make your way to South Bank.
Oh, fuck me.
Find the Nepalese pagoda somewhere on the
Oh,
waterfront.
I know where that is.
We got to get out of here without being spotted.
The teams are now heading towards South Bank and searching for the Nepalese pagoda. Once they get there, they will find two statues of animals. They must use the name of the animal, which is typically heavier, as the password to unlock their next clue.
So I think the quickest route.
Make your way to South Bank. Find Nepalese pagoda.
I know it's right next to the fountain. It's not right next to the what do you call it? The eye.
So, Guy and Flynn lead the race and are on their way to South Bank. But in second position, it's Lockie and Angus, who are in hot pursuit.
We found the next clue. The pacing.
Only 72 maybe? 1867? Yeah, got it. Cool.
2 teams have now found the fountain. I wonder how the rest of them are going.
Currently unable to find this fucking statue thing. Oops.
Luke and Dom make it to the fountain in 3rd place, even with their little lunch break at the sushi shop.
How many close people?
The 3rd one.
Oh, okay, very nice, very nice.
It's not bad, solid effort.
Yeah, solid effort. It's a bloody number. They're looking forward to you.
And just behind them, Riley and Alex finally locate the fountain as well.
I think you're doing, huh? I get how much?
Oh, we thought
We got sushi and we still had it.
yeah, literally. Yeah, we were walking up the wrong front of the pagoda.
Both teams read the next clue together and seem to form a bit of a union as they move off towards South Bank.
So we literally just ran from South Bank across the Goodwill, and now we're going back the exact same way we came. Which kind of sucks.
Well, Lockie, that might suck, but at least you're not in 5th and last position like Sean and Deep. And back up the front, Guy and Flynn still continue to lead the charge towards the pagoda.
Hey!
Hello. Hey, that's the guy
That's
that's
Prithvi.
meant to meet. Yeah.
Yo, aren't you supposed to be with the last team? Huh? Prithvi. No, Prithvi is supposed to be the last team.
Oh no, with the 4th one now.
Huh?
With the 4th one now.
Are we the 4th team?
You're the 5th.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you guys lost.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? South Bank? Back to South Bank?
Yes. South Bank.
What was the year, by the way?
1867.
No way.
Having pit stops for food and drink seems to be a theme for Luke and Dom, and they've even dragged Riley and Alex in with them this time.
The most superior drink of all time, Dr. Pepper.
At this point, Sean and Deep have realised that the $500 is slipping away from them, and so they quickly change gear. Meanwhile, back with Lockie and Angus,
Made over the Goodwill Bridge the second time.
and further along South Bank we find Guy and Flynn,
He cut out all the bits where we walk.
I put some epic music like some Pirates of the Caribbean.
So at this point we can see a bit of a contrast between some teams running and some teams walking. I wonder which tactic will work in the long run. For now, the running tactic seems to be working, as Guy and Flynn make it to the pagoda in 1st position.
Surely elephant.
Got it.
He was right.
Oh yes, Ferris wheel.
Nearby to the pagoda, the teams can find the Channel 7 Ferris wheel. In this task, they must rearrange the letters that spell a television broadcaster in Australia to a series of letters that spell a form of transport. And once they do this, they can use that form of transport as the password to unlock their next clue.
Okay, so there's 10.
Net. No. There's 9.
I haven't been outside for this long in so long.
I know, right?
Yeah. So while Guy and Flynn are working on the challenge, the walkers continue to close in.
ABC,
City
Australian Broadcasting
It's
Network.
gonna be City Cat, surely. Cab. ABC. Okay.
Put cabin. No.
Oh shit.
Don't just walk.
I thought we had to use that.
Okay, find the Brisbane sign nearby. Use the natural feature that
this
is.
way, right?
Wait, what? Use the natural feature that is depicted on one of the letters as password. Okay.
The teams must now find the Brisbane sign, and once there, determine the natural feature that is painted on one of the letters. Once they've worked out the natural feature, they can use it as the password to unlock their next clue.
Guy and Flynn make quick work of getting to the Brisbane sign.
This is tiring.
Oh dude. I meant to tell you something.
Alright, so it's not going to be the lady. Use the natural feature that is depicted on one of the letters. Alright, so it can either be a river, a flame. I'm going to go river, alright? Yeah?
Yeah. Nice.
English or maths?
Maths, obviously.
The teams have encountered another detour. In this detour, they have a choice between English or maths. In English, they must think of an international capital city that rhymes with Brisbane. And in maths, they must sum the letters that spell the word Brisbane using the logic where A equals 1 and so on. And once they do this, they can use their respective passwords and unlock their next clue.
Okay, I'll start on this end. I'll do 4.
Being engineers, maths seems like an obvious choice for Guy and Flynn, as it does for Lockie and Angus, who are now also completing the detour.
Alright, we're going to pull out the calculator.
It's 19. R is 18.
20.
20. 22. So I've been saying. You go.
So 22. Bane is 22.
Lockie and Angus make quick work of the maths detour with their illegal use of a calculator. And nevertheless, they are moving on to the next challenge.
The teams are now racing towards the University of Queensland, where they will head to the Great Court and find Building 5. They must use the area of science related to that building as the password to unlock their next clue.
Lockie and Angus make it to a nearby bus stop and are in the lead for the first time, while Guy and Flynn are still doing maths. But they seem to be having an awfully hard time adding 8 numbers together. Back with the walkers, and it looks like Sean and Deep are in 3rd position as they make it to the pagoda.
Because it's Nepalese. Why didn't you say that before?
Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex still bring up the rear on their leisurely stroll towards the pagoda.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K.
Are they team?
O, P, Q, I. Yeah.
So, what do you guys want?
Oh no, we're just doing a race.
Actually, wait, go back. Z, Y, X.
Maybe this is the help that Guy and Flynn need, although it seems more distracting than useful. Nearby, Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex work on the transport-themed challenge. Lockie and Angus cruise towards UQ, and Sean and Deep cruise towards the Brisbane sign.
Yeah.
An A has 56.
Yeah.
E, A, B, C, D, E.
61.
61. I, A, B, C,
70.
D, E, F, G, H, I.
70.
Okay, 70.
Film me.
Bro, am I still filming at this point?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we're retarded. Okay, what's the clue? What's the clue?
Make your way. Can we surrender? Make your way to the...
We don't deserve to win.
Go to UQ. Let's just go to UQ.
Alright.
Okay. Dude, I'm on a run till I fucking bleed now.
B is 2.
Yeah.
You got a calculator?
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q.
Oh, wait, so B is 2.
R is 18.
R would be 18.
Guy and Flynn are on their way to UQ. However, in doing so, they go to the wrong bus platform. A differing of opinion on how to get to the correct one splits the two for a minute. So, Lockie and Angus make their way across the bus bridge at UQ. However, Flynn still believes, or at least hopes, that he's in the lead.
Is that Lachlan? In blue? No, we're good.
You get that? That was me. That was my brain that did that.
Riley cracks the code for the Union, and now they're moving on to the Brisbane sign.
70.
Let's go. Make your way to the University of Queensland.
The area of science related to the building, to that building isn't quite... So it's either going to be like archaeology...
No, 5 is physics.
5 is... Oh, it's Parnell.
And then, if we know a clue, we still have to go there.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But like, I'm just thinking which one it could be.
Guy and Flynn board their bus to UQ, while Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex are at the Brisbane sign.
How does it know the Brisbane River?
I don't know. River? Oh, it's just river. Wait, river. Bro, it's river. River. If we lose this because we took 40 minutes to sum up to the number 70, I'll never forgive myself. Or Guy.
So at this point, Lockie and Angus have a pretty massive lead, and clearly Guy and Flynn's maths woes have helped that. However, a few more tactics are about to be revealed.
We made some pretty big moves. We actually do. We don't know if it's illegal or...
What was the move?
If I should reveal. The move was that we didn't make a move. So we skipped the elephant. there's an elephant. Angus knew that somehow. And we also knew what was on the Brisbane sign, which was the river.
Damn. So you went straight to 66.
So we went straight to the bus stop.
Well, not actually going to the location is highly illegal. But since Lockie and Angus had found Building 5, here is the next challenge.
The teams have encountered a roadblock. A roadblock is a task that only one person may perform. In this roadblock, that person must count how many pillars are in the University of Queensland's Great Court. To make the count a bit easier, we will only consider 3 pillars. So that's one like this. So that doesn't include pillars that are half in the wall like this, or on the outside of the Great Court like that.
So Angus gets counting and tries to speed up the process with a little jog.
Area of science related to the building, so we can just guess science disciplines. Geology. Physics. Yeah, geology.
To be fair, that was a good guess, Deep, but you weren't at the location, so that was against the rules. Meanwhile, back on the bus,
Ben allowed us to change our shirt colour with no penalty. He allowed people to arrive an hour late with no penalty. He does not rule with an iron fist.
while Flynn analyses the production, Luke appears to have lost all hope and is walking out into the road. The other members of the union are unsure which bus goes to UQ and seek some advice.
From the cultural centre.
Meanwhile, back in the Great Court,
Big reveal. What? Apparently, we don't know the answer.
They're not the half ones. I counted the ones on the other side that were full. Does that make sense?
but eventually they work out the correct answer and move on to the next challenge.
The team's now heading towards the Mount Cootha Botanic Gardens and must find the butterfly catcher's sculpture. Once they find it, they must find out what event it was created for and use that event as the password to unlock their next clue.
On the bus to UQ, and Sean and Deep are doing some more rule breaking as they try and guess how many pillars are in the Great Court, so they can skip that challenge entirely and save some time.
Is the ferry going to be heading left or is it going to be heading right? It doesn't matter. No,
it's either way.
Ferry's going both ways.
The discussion about how to get to UQ continues back in South Bank.
Right, so we're at UQ now, and we've just realised we left the map at South Bank. So we do not have a map.
Do you know which bus goes to UQ? Or would we have to catch a bus from like the cultural centre, like bridge?
Trying to find the correct bus wasted a lot of time for these teams. Still, could be worse.
Thinks he's forgotten his keys. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Actually?
But they're not in my pockets, and I usually keep them in my pocket.
Bro. It's over.
It's over. Fuck. Wait. This is gonna be a fun day.
Back on the bus with Sean and Deep, and the password has been cracked, allowing them to view the next challenge. They then skip the Great Court entirely and go straight to their car.
Do you know where the Botanic Gardens are actually?
Yeah, I'll follow the signs for it. I know how to get to Cootha. It should be signs.
Meanwhile, back in the Great Court,
Oh, this is gonna take ages. Are they equal number of arches? Oh.
so back with the leaders now, and Lockie and Angus have found the sculpture at the Botanic Gardens.
World Expo.
World
maybe.
Expo.
Let's try that. World Expo. Oh, let's go.
We're in.
We got another plant we gotta look for. Damn, this looks hard.
Nearby, the teams can find the tropical dome. They must go inside and find the black bat plant. Once they find it, they can use its country of origin as the password to unlock their next clue.
So the field is pretty spread out at this point. Lockie and Angus are moving on to the dome challenge at the Botanic Gardens, while Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex are only just getting to UQ. And in the Great Court, Guy and Flynn have finished counting the pillars.
101?
101?
Yeah.
Yep. Make your way to Mount Cootha. Okay. GG.
It's over.
With the car keys lost and buses to the Botanic Gardens fairly rare, it looks like Guy and Flynn are stranded at UQ. And meanwhile, Angus scours the dome for the plant in question. Luke and Dom and Riley and Alex head up towards the Great Court, while Guy decides to give Angus a little phone call while being stranded at one of UQ's car parks.
We're stuck here. We do not know where the keys are. Are you finished?
No. We've put in a couple of answers that Ben wasn't too happy with anyway.
What answers did you put in?
The South Bank ones we all did from the same location.
Ah, so you didn't even you didn't go to South Bank?
No, we did. We just didn't plug it all the way up to the Brisbane sign and then to the what was it?
Wait, you didn't go to Brisbane sign?
No.
What?
Oh.
Bro,
So
that is cheat.
They're probably disqualified. We could win.
Okay, we have to get some out. Alright. We're hanging up now. See ya.
Are you kidding me, dude? They're disqualified.
Dude, we could have won, bro.
So as disappointment reigns for Guy and Flynn, Deep has made it to the sculpture.
Yes, okay, that worked. Look around, can you see the big tropical dome? Go in and find the black bat plant. Big dome is there.
So we've resorted to sitting here and waiting for other people to drive.
My stomach is rumbling.
And watching a nice football game. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
So while Guy and Flynn watch football and Riley counts the pillars, Lockie and Angus have found the plant. And from reading the clue, they discover that that was the final challenge. The next destination is the finish line.
Teams have received their final clue and must make their way here to the Toowong Soldiers Memorial. They must find me here, standing somewhere nearby, and the first team to do that will win the $500.
We are leaving the Mount Coot-tha Botanic Gardens. We found the plants, we found the statues. Now we're on our way to somewhere in Toowong.
So Lockie and Angus are leaving the gardens, while Deep is only just entering the tropical dome and starting his search for the plant.
101. It worked. There's 101 pillars. Let's go.
Back at UQ and the Collusion Union have figured out how many pillars there are and are now moving on to the next challenge. In the meantime, Deep had found the plant and was making moves towards the finish line. A scuffle then breaks out in the car park between the two leading teams and former allies.
Our agreement, guys, come on. What happened to our agreement, man?
Meanwhile, back over at UQ,
Oh, guys. Oh, everyone's fucking fucked off.
Guy and Flynn managed to scrounge a lift to the Botanic Gardens off Riley and Alex. Meanwhile, Lockie and Angus are planning their route to the finish.
We don't know where we're going.
Oh, true, is it on there?
There's Moore Park. That's not Toowong. 21. Could be Perrin Park.
Is it not on there?
Oh, Toowong Soldiers Memorial.
12.
12.
I'm gonna try and direct you there.
Having located the Toowong Soldiers Memorial on the map, Lockie and Angus can now tactically plan their route to the finish line. Meanwhile, Luke plays some music that his German car would enjoy.
Wenn deine Alkohol chillen wir kein Problem, dann komm ich vorbei. Ich komm nicht allein, denn ich hab Stoff und Schnaps. Ich hab Stoff.
Sean and Deep are now planning their route to the finish in a seemingly more chaotic way to that of Lockie and Angus.
Give me that map, bro. I'll tell you where. Just give me the map. It's literally on the map.
Let's go forward.
Here, Toowong Soldiers Memorial. It's on
You're
here.
not reading the right thing.
It's on here.
You missed it.
They're behind us. Oh, you can't even see. Very nice of. Wait, what team color are you guys?
Red.
It's very nice of Team Red to give Team Maroon a lift here.
Yeah.
Back at the front,
Oh, I can't go right here.
Ah, okay. I guess just take whichever next right you can take.
back in the gardens, Luke and Dom are in third place as they make it to the sculpture.
Alright, whip open the map.
So, Sean and Deep have left the gardens as well and are racing towards the finish line in hot pursuit of Lockie and Angus. who originally seemed to be fairly confident in their navigation, but now appear to be getting lost.
So we're close. I don't really know.
G'day.
I thought your keys were lost.
Yeah, we're in with him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Was actually.
yeah.
Guy representing the maroon team and Alex the red team make quick work of this challenge, which seems to confuse Luke and Dom a bit. And back with the leaders, things have gone from bad to worse for Lockie and Angus.
It's just a regatta up ahead and you can't turn right there. Fuck!
Oh, so we're gonna have to go around Toowong.
Fuck! We've got the slowest way. Oh my god. We've cocked up. We've bottled it.
What does it look like?
It seems quite relaxing in the tropical dome compared to Lockie and Angus's car.
Where do I go? Where do I go? I don't know. I've got to go left. Okay. No, we're not good. Oh. Why would we go left?
So I can chuck a Yui up ahead. And then go back that way.
And while Lockie and Angus messed up their navigation, Sean and Deep flawlessly found the Toowong Soldiers Memorial, the finish line, and took the lead for the first time at the most crucial time.
We need both of you on the mat. You guys are incredible. Welcome.
I wonder if we beat Lockie and Angus. Well, we have to do the classic.
Hop on the mat. You are the first team.
No!
Sean and Deep, the first team to step on the mat and declare their finish.
That's alright. Okay, we're gonna go for a run.
Alright, let's do it.
We're running.
Do we want the map?
Yep.
Lockie and Angus had finally figured out how to navigate, but it was a little bit too late for that.
You guys win. Okay, bye.
Gentlemen, so you've seen this issue.
Mayor. What issue?
No, you want one second. For you.
How did that happen?
Haven't stepped on the mat yet either.
What do we have to do?
Please step on the mat to declare your finish in second position. How do we feel? Pretty bummed.
I am actually
We
really
bottled
bummed.
it. What happened? Tell us.
We're absolutely right there. We missed a turn
We missed a lot of turns.
and it just completely ruined it.
So while the first two teams had finished, our competitors in the dome were only just finding the black bat plant.
What's this one?
Oh, he did.
You chose one. Thailand. Hide it up nice for the next person. Yeah, good.
And Luke and Dom are now moving on to the tropical dome.
Yeah, the trouble with that was
And they make quick work of finding the correct plant.
I got it. Wait, it's right here. It's literally right here.
It's Toowong Soldiers Memorial. Quick, we gotta run.
So, the final three teams were now all leaving the gardens and heading towards the finish line. However, Luke and Dom don't see the Toowong Soldiers Memorial marked on their map, and instead have the theory to check the nearby Anzac Park for a memorial.
Anzac Park. Fucking hell. Surely there's an Anzac Memorial.
But without finding any sort of memorial, they soon ask a member of the public for some assistance.
Excuse me. Have you seen a Soldiers Memorial around here?
Yes.
What? Sorry, where's that?
We're on our way.
And while Luke and Dom were getting some directions, the other remaining teams had found the finish line and were making their way up the hill.
I'm not hungry or tired in any way at all.
Back at Anzac Park,
So we're doing a race. So the clue is the Toowong
Soldiers Memorial.
Soldiers Memorial.
Okay, you need to walk. So go to Sylvan Road, go down Sylvan Road, it's up on the hill.
Oh, hang on. That was tied team. Good team.
Yeah.
No, that's how it works.
You guys step at the same time as well.
They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us.
We had to get the lift.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right.
I'm driving them around for the past half.
So the keys, they don't exist. I've lost everything.
And very close by,
Wait, where's Ben? Maybe this is not it. This is memorial.
Luke and Dom find another, slightly smaller Soldiers Memorial in the vicinity of the actual finish line. But they are forced to concede that they must keep searching for the real finish line. Luke goes for a frantic run around the nearby field, and this allows him to spot me standing on top of the hill, awaiting his and Dom's arrival.
Did I lose?
Me. There's a memorial down there, Ben. Dom, hurry up!
Well done, boys.
Alright, hop on the mat, Good effort, Luke.
Yeah, he's behind it.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Finish the race, Finish strong.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Alright, shake some bullshit. Alright, you are last team.
Yeah.
Last team finish.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Last. How do we feel?
I'm scared. Ben, I'm taking this small plane spot.
So you've seen how they all finished on the day, but there were a few rule breakers, weren't there? Let's discuss. So who were the rule breakers? It was Sean and Deep, and Lockie and Angus broke the rules. Ignore that, by the way. Now, what rules did Sean and Deep break? Well, they brute forced that password, so they didn't have to go to the Great Court, and they used a calculator. So, naughty, disqualified. How about Lockie and Angus? They also used a calculator, and they didn't go to all the locations in South Bank. So again, naughty, disqualified. This is a horse, by the way. Horse, there you go. Ah, very nice. Now, who actually won in the end? They were Riley and Alex, joint winners with Guy and Flynn, because they both touched the mat at the same time. Third place to round out the podium was Luke and Dom. And that's it. There's no more to be said. Thank you very much for watching, and farewell.